Chapter 6. Blind Date. 3 days later. Chen Lian's phone buzzed mid-cataloging. Paintings spread before her like silent witnesses. A message from her brother. Chen Lian, can you attend a small hospital charity dinner tonight? I can't go myself. It'll help our museum's partnership. You'll meet a doctor there. He's in charge of the project. Chen Lian. Okay, I'll represent you. She didn't question it. Her brother rarely asked. Evening. She chose a cream silk blouse tucked into a navy skirt. Clean lines, quiet elegance, purely her. Before leaving, she slipped into Chen's room. He sat in his armchair, book open but unread for minutes. He looked up too quickly. You'll be fine while I'm gone? She asked. He smiled, gentle but strained. Of course, don't worry about me. Just don't be late, and be polite. The doctor you'll meet is quite... His lips curled into a quiet, unreadable smile as he searched. Different. She blinked. Different how? He shook his head. You'll see. She studied him, suspicious but trusting, then nodded, tightened her coat, and left. Behind her, Chen exhaled, hand to his chest, hoping this small step might one day give her what he couldn't alone. The restaurant's private room glowed under worn amber lighting. So quiet, a breath felt loud. At the table's far end sat Lin Zeyuan, composed as always, fingers interlaced loosely. His mother had shared only essentials, a family friend's daughter, good temperament, just dinner. Translation: a blind date he couldn't refuse. His plan was simple: eat politely, speak minimally, leave early. Then the door opened. He looked up. The stillness inside him fractured. A woman entered in a sage-green pleated dress, soft linen shawl draped over her shoulders. The color bathed her in serenity, almost luminous. Her hair fell loosely tied, effortless grace that demanded no attention, yet claimed it all. She scanned the room with calm professionalism until her eyes met his. Chen Lian, the woman whose voice had reached him from the hospital seminar's back row, delivering her talk on aesthetic psychology and emotional memory. Her clarity, her gentleness, the way she'd traced the textures of people's minds, it had lingered far longer than expected. But she didn't recognize him. She stepped forward politely. Good evening, Dr. Lin. I'm Chen Lian from Jincheng Historical Museum. My brother said you wanted to discuss a collaboration for your hospital's cultural outreach. Her tone was formal, completely unaware. Zeyuan inhaled slowly, steadying himself. She truly thought this was a work meeting. Please, he said quietly, have a seat. The room felt oddly empty, just the two of them. Chen Lian's instincts prickled. This wasn't confidential enough for privacy, yet here they were, alone. She scanned again, suspicious. Had she entered the wrong room? No. Her brother's message confirmed the number. Still, something felt off, especially him, seated across, calmly surveying the space, barely meeting her gaze. Then the host burst in, all overly enthusiastic energy. This reservation is under Madame Lin Meilin and Madame Chen Ruolan, he announced cheerfully. A perfect setup for our most promising pair. Lin Zeyuan's eyes flicked away instantly, dodging the emotional colors swirling from the host. But the same shock hit him. Chen Lian's hues, her nervousness, her suspicion, had vanished completely, only leaving white gold mist. He froze, stunned. Dr. Han was right. She might be an anchor for my ability. Chen Lian blinked sharply. Pair? She repeated. The host paled, realizing his slip. Ah, just an expression. Please enjoy your dinner. He fled. Stunned silence settled, thick as the amber light. Chen Lian turned back to Zeyuan, eyes narrowing slightly. I'm sorry. Did I misunderstand something? No, he said gently. You didn't misunderstand. I think our families wanted us to meet. Her breath caught. A soft, surprised exhale. So, this wasn't about a collaboration at all. Not exactly, he admitted, but I also didn't know it would be you. That sincerity landed harder than expected. Surprise mingling with uncertainty. Have we met before? She frowned, confused. She'd never met anyone like him before. Her gaze lingered, taking him in. Sharp jawline framing an oval face. High cheekbones catching the amber light perfectly. Behind slim, wire-rimmed glasses, almond-shaped eyes held quiet intensity. dark brows arched thoughtfully above them. His straight nose led to full lips, curved in a subtle half-smile, dark wavy hair falling softly over his forehead against flawless fair skin. Effortless elegance in his poised posture. Lin Zeyuan nodded slightly. Yes, at my hospital. You gave a speech on aesthetic psychology. I was there. Her eyes widened. Oh, wait. The seminar on visual memory and emotional response to art? That one. A faint blush warmed her cheeks, half embarrassment, half realization. I didn't expect anyone to remember that. I did, he replied. A small silence settled, softer now. Well, she murmured, smoothing her dress to regain composure. Since we're already here, it would be rude to leave. His expression warmed subtly. Not quite a smile, but sincere. I agree. For the first time in years, the colors in his perception steadied. Balanced. He wasn't sure if it was the lighting or the woman who'd calmed an entire hospital hall with her voice alone. The restaurant deepened into quiet intimacy. Soft jazz curled through the air. Glass walls reflected rippling gold from garden lanterns. Neither spoke. Zeyuan sat still, gaze on the greenery outside. His silence felt generous, letting the world breathe. Across from her, Chen Lian shifted, still reeling from the blind date reveal. He hadn't fled her gaze or excused himself, just stayed, calm, respectful. He isn't unpleasant, she thought, just unreadable. When she looked up, he was already turning toward her. Their gazes met, steady, brief. You're uncomfortable, he murmured. The quiet precision startled her. Do I look uncomfortable? He nodded. Just enough that I feel it too. A breath escaped her, disbelief and amusement. I suppose that makes us even. Something eased in his shoulders. I know, he said gently. You didn't come here expecting this. She exhaled. No, I thought we were discussing a collaboration. A pause. Then his voice shifted, deliberate, clinically steady, like armor rehearsed for protection. Then maybe we should define terms. He waited a beat. I think we could set a contract. Chen Lian's fingers stilled. A contract? She repeated, brow furrowing. He continued in that physician's tone, detached, logical, impersonal. It would resolve all the outside pressure. Your family, mine. No expectations. Name partners only. Separate rooms if you prefer. Minimal interference. I won't impose. He didn't finish. Chen Lian had already risen from her chair. The soft clink of dishes echoed through the sudden quiet. Her white gold aura, the gentle seminar glow he remembered, flared into sharp red streaks. Confusion, overwhelm, hurt is edging in. He went silent. He knew enough to let her lead. What? Her voice stayed controlled, but trembled at the edges. How can anyone agree to something like that? His gaze lowered slightly. She gripped her chair back, knuckles whitening. We just met, Dr. Lin, for the first time, and you're talking contracts and arrangements. Her voice tightened, not weak, but genuinely shaken. I don't even know you. The silence settled, not hostile, just deeply, painfully human. Zeyuan inhaled slowly, her colors shifting around her, cooling from wounded red streaks into bruised, settling shades that tightened his own chest. She was right. He'd miscalculated, the classic error of someone who'd analyzed emotions too long without living them. When he raised his eyes, the sharpness had softened into quiet sincerity. You're right, he said. That was too fast. Her shoulders eased slightly, though she stood uncertain, deciding whether to walk out or sit. The air between them felt unsteady, like two instruments tuning for the first time, discordant, but not incompatible. And yet, beneath the tension he saw it again, that faint color, the steady shade from her hospital seminar, the quiet glow that soothed his chaotic senses. He didn't know its name, but it anchored him, kept him seated, kept him from ending the night. The weekday hush wrapped the hospital. People moving, talking, working, minds wandering elsewhere. Fluorescent lights hummed along the corridor, mingling with distant cartwheels and nurses' clipped reports. At the department desk, Dr. Zhao Wen leaned over the counter, steaming coffee in one hand, digital file glowing on screen. Dr. Lin, look at this. Zhao tapped rapidly. Patient's anxiety pattern mirrors that teenager from last week. Exactly. See the spike here in acute worry and tremulousness? Hey, don't just stare. Look. Zeyuan adjusted his glasses, leaning forward. Posture textbook professional, every motion precise. But his eyes, unfocused. His mind wasn't in the hospital. It flashed back to the restaurant. Chen Lian rising, colors flaring sharp and startled around her. Her voice quiet, trembling. I don't even know you. He'd replayed it for hours. Not his blunder, but that unnamed shade in her hurt. Dr. Lin? Zhao Wen waved a hand across the screen. Earth to Zeyuan. Zeyuan blinked, numbers snapping into focus. Yes, I was recalculating. Zhao snorted. Right, and I'm the Emperor of Qing. He sipped his coffee, eyeing him suspiciously. Didn't sleep again, did you? You look like someone unplugged you and plugged you back wrong. No answer. Just that familiar non-committal hum Zeyuan deployed to shut down elaboration. Zhao raised a brow. Seriously, what had you zoning out like frozen software? Zeyuan didn't bite. He shifted the file slightly. This patient needs re-evaluation. Anxiety curves inconsistent. Zhao stared, then sighed theatrically. Classic redirect. He leaned closer, whispering, One day you'll crack open that encrypted brain of yours. One day. But Zeyuan wasn't listening anymore. For the first time in years, clinical work failed to anchor him. Something had slipped free, stepped beyond hospital walls. Still standing before her. Across the city. Restoration studio. Sunlight spilled through tall studio windows, turning dust motes into drifting gold. Chen Lian sat before an aged landscape painting, gloved hand moving steady as a heart beating, brushing debris from fragile silk edges. Beside her, Mei Shui rearranged pigment jars, humming until suspicion won. Lian, Mei whispered, leaning close. You've been too quiet since yesterday. Post-speech exhaustion hit late, or did someone steal your personality overnight? Chen exhaled tiredly. It's not that. Her brush hovered, then rested down. It's my brother, she said quietly. Sent me to a charity dinner to meet a doctor for work. Except, her voice faltered. It was a setup. Mei's jaw dropped. A blind date from Yushin? That man can barely book his own dentist appointment, and he's playing Cupid? Chen's lips twitched, but solemnity held. I didn't even know who I was meeting. Walked in thinking professional discussion. I wasn't prepared. Mei crossed her arms. So, who was it? Anyone we know? Chen hesitated. The name Lin Zeyuan formed on her tongue but stayed locked. I don't know him well, she said instead, voice softening. Just that he's a doctor. And the whole evening felt orchestrated. Mei frowned deeply. Your brother's protective, sure, but scheming behind your back? That's not his pattern. Chen nodded, gaze dropping to the painting. When I confronted him, he said something strange. I should at least try to know the person, like someone pushed him. Then Mother agreed. She exhaled slowly. Everyone understood the story except me. Her fingers trembled faintly, tucking stray hair, and Mei caught an invisible crack instantly. Mei rested a warm hand on her shoulder. Lian, you've held everyone else's feelings together for years. Your brother, mother, work, students, art. She squeezed gently. Just once let the world misbehave without you decoding every silence. Chen managed a faint smile, but the heaviness lingered. Somewhere behind her calm expression, questions gathered. Linhai Medical Center, 12th floor, Neuropsychology Wing. The 12th floor felt detached from the hospital's chaos. Glass walls muting cityscape noise, ambient lighting giving it research lab sterility rather than sickbay urgency. In his office, Dr. Han Yao sat legs crossed, reviewing confidential reports. Lin Zeyuan's precise handwriting filled them. Data logs, emotional mapping charts, sensory fluctuation records. Exceptional work, as always. But Han Yao's focus drifted to the charity seminar 7 evenings prior, one of Linhai's high-profile events. Donors, trustees, department heads, and guest scholars. A sensory overload, even for seasoned doctors. Yet Lin Zeyuan stood steady in that crowd. Not from therapy, not environmental controls, not Han Yao beside him. Chen Lian is stepping on stage. Han Yao recalled the shift clinically, her voice filling the auditorium, Lin's posture easing, rigid breathing softening, eye tension dissolving, like a switch flipping off. A natural regulating stimulus, rare, clinically significant. He exhaled, a satisfied smile forming. For someone whose mind ran high voltage, finding a grounding point was extraordinary. Hopeful. He closed the file, wrote one deliberate line. Observation. Consistent emotional stabilization triggered by Chen Lian. Anchor confirmed. Leaning back, eyes on gleaming hospital grounds below, he murmured, warmth threading his voice, Lin Zeyuan, of all this hospital gave you, I didn't expect her to reach you. Late afternoon. Dr. Han Yao's office. Late sunlight stretched gold across the polished floor. Lin Hai's psychology wing felt soundproofed from the hospital bustle below. A world behind glass. Lin Zeyuan sat across, posture rigid, hands folded. Calm. Too calm. Han Yao studied him with practiced precision, decoding micro-shifts others missed. So, Han began lightly, pen tapping notepad. What happened after the meeting? You left early. Lin Zeyuan didn't twitch. I had dinner. With? Gentle, precise, dead center. Zeyuan's jaw flexed once. A woman, he said evenly. Chen Lian. Han smiled inwardly. There it is, he leaned forward. And how did it go? A fractional hesitation, Han caught it. There was a misunderstanding. Her family arranged it. I spoke too directly. Directly, Han's brow lifted. I suggested a contract-based marital arrangement. Han nearly choked. You what? It was logical, Zeyuan continued, given compatibility markers and, Lin, Han rubbed his forehead. You can't propose structured marriage on a first meeting. Silence. Lin Zeyuan blinked, genuinely puzzled. She did not react well. No, Han said slowly, she would not. Beneath exasperation, excitement stirred. This disruption was new, not catastrophic, just human. Han folded his hands. And now? What do you feel? Lin Zeyuan stared past his shoulder, hunting precise words. There is noise, he murmured. Not external, internal. I keep seeing her expression when she left. Han softened. Progress. Lin, he said gently, it's all right not to have answers yet. Just tell me if you want to see her again. Lin's eyes dropped. Not evasion, calculation. Yes, he said quietly, I do. For the first time, his voice shed clinical armor. Night draped the city, but Chen Lian's apartment glowed from one desk lamp. Papers, sketches, restoration notes scattered like failed attempts to work. Her mind too restless to settle. Her tea sat cold, hours old. Curled on the sofa, knees to chest, she stared blankly at the wall. Thoughts looped relentlessly. What am I doing? Why did they insist? Why did that dinner feel like stepping into someone else's life? Sleep had fled since last night. Eyes closed, fragments replayed. Uncomfortable silence, Yushin's guilty flinch, mother's hopeful tone. And Lin Zeyuan, his voice, direct, steady, a rhythm apart from the world. Contract marriage, the words drummed relentlessly in her mind. She buried her face in her hands, groaning softly. I'm not a child anymore, she muttered. Marriage will happen someday, but how do I decide like this? Deadlines loomed. Archive exhibition next month. Restoration piece due in 2 weeks. Her career peak. Instead, her mind circled a near stranger. Family pressure for a second meeting. A future she couldn't face. Her phone buzzed. Yushin, Mom wants to know if you'll agree to a second meeting. Please don't overthink. Just try. Overthink? She'd done nothing else since fleeing the restaurant. She exhaled shakily, sinking into sofa cushions. I don't even know him, she whispered. And yet, why does this feel like it's moving on its own? Her chest tightened, fear and curiosity tangling with something unnamed. Outside, city lights glittered. Inside, Chen Lian stayed wide awake, logic warring with emotion, duty with desire, who she was, with who she might become.